And I am live. And since I have no guests or co hosts or people watching at the moment, I am just talking into the void. So here I am. Uh, I'll give some time for guests to see if they're late, if they will show up. Uh, and then we will go from there. Glad that you tuned in. You and I are the only ones here. So I'm going to open it up probably for anyone who wants to join in because it looks like the guests are no show and Roe is still driving in snowy weather and can't make it. So we'll give them another minute or so. And then, well, we'll just kind of chat. And if no one wants to chat, then we'll just end it. So anyway, we now have two people according to YouTube watching. So if you're watching, say hi. And if you would like to join, I'm going to put the link into the chat and you can come on and we can chat about whatever. So yes, Dan, thank you. I'm glad that you're excited that it's just me tonight. I mean, why wouldn't you be? So while I'm waiting for people to show, there you go, The Bastard Prince. It releases at the end of this month. 2/29. Oh, this is not a leap year. EL. So, okay. It releases sometime, not right now. 2/28. The 28th. There we go. So we still have we're up to 4 viewers. So Roe has made it home, but his wife is not feeling well, so he's going to take care of her instead of me, which honestly is a very wise idea. And our guests are no-shows. So I put the link to this show in the comments. So if you want to hop on and say hi, if this is your worldly ambitions to say hi to me, you're very strange, but let's go with it. And if you're watching on Twitter and you can't see the comments, you need to hop over to YouTube and you can hop on. And while you're there, why don't you like and subscribe to make our numbers grow? And I believe his plane just backed away from there, so he's not even here anymore, Dan. While we wait for hopefully someone to show up, I have a couple things I can show. So this is the Moon Squeaker from the last creature creation. So yes, it is a rat-sized amphibious creature, which actually is supposed to have webbing between its front and back legs like a flying squirrel. It has mushrooms growing out of its back. There is the question. I believe Roe is close to finishing his book. We will see. Haley is just soldiering on. I got a truly terrible review from Spacebo, as in they said it was a sci-fi touristy book and cozy. So clearly they did not see the first of several cold-blooded murders before they quit reading. But hey, whatever. So that is Moon Squeaker. Again, if you're new, if you've always wanted to be on YouTube, tonight is your night. Our guests are a no-show. Roe is taking care of his wife who is ill. So if you want to be on, let me know. I put the link is in the comments here on YouTube, so you can copy it, paste it, and you can come join me. And if not, I have one other thing that I can show. I am starting a new series because clearly I need to do that. So these are 2 of my 5 alien races. They're based on my 5 dogs that I've had, and they're going to be on a space station, and humans have just been invited. I'm getting the character art drawn now, so this is what you can expect from me. And since they're all based on my dogs, it's going to be cozy because I can't really kill my dogs. Let's see. So Every cozy mystery starts with a murder. My book is not a mystery. X is popping off with shares of open mic night with Mike. Okay, well, hopefully someone is foolish enough to join. There you go. And I can concur. I've known him for over 50 years, so this is absolutely true, people. He's also, unfortunately, we've proven that he is related to me by DNA. So I'll give it a few more minutes. Let me see. I will pop on over to Twitter while we're waiting. And I will share this quote. Okay. Haley 2. There you go. I will pull that up now for you guys because some people are worried about doing this right. Let's see. Book covers. Come on, open. Okay, so I am currently working on Haley 2, Stranded and Alone. This is the cover, which I've not done a cover review for now, so ta-da! Here it is. There you go. So this will, I keep telling myself, will be out in May, which means probably June, maybe July, if I had to bet. But this is the follow-up to Haley Traveler, and as you can see, things get dicey. I had nowhere near this amount of damage considered in my head when I thought about it, but the artist came back and this is what he gave me, so I kind of ran with it. So yeah, it just got upgraded, and what could possibly go wrong? I'll give it a few more minutes and see if anybody would like to be on the show. Otherwise, we will probably call it. I just shared my 2 cents. Cover art. Let me. EL, where did you share it? Your email, Moment Author. Okay. It has not come through yet, EL. Sorry. When it does, I will definitely show it. EL has a new novella that's coming out at the end of this month with 2 different covers, if I remember correctly. So we shall see. Let me double check. Email is slow today. Okay. So the invitation is out on X, but no one has jumped at it yet. We will try Discord. Okay, well. So we have 10 people watching. In case you missed it, our guests are no-show, and Rose's wife is ill, so he is taking care of her rather than yammering at me. So pretty much I opened it up to everyone. If you come over to YouTube, I put the link in the comments. You can copy paste and you can come chat with me. I know this is like not the biggest prize in the world, but hey, that's where we're at. So if someone would like to come on, if you want something you want to pitch, now is the time. So I'm opening this up to everyone except for the bots on Twitter, which can't really talk anyway. So yeah, come on, join if you can. I'll give it a few more minutes, and finally, I've got your covers. So now I will share screen, video. Okay, not yet. Let me go here. Download. So EL has a new novella coming out. And let me open up the images. And we can do a little vote if people want to know. Let me get back here, share screen. We have two. We have my choice for which cover I like best. Available for pre-order now. It comes out on the 28th of this month. And if you're not liking that, I think you're wrong, but whatever. You're allowed to have your own opinion. And this is the other option, which is more cartoony, and I've never really liked cartoons. So the first and second editions, there you go. Okay. So thank you, Dan. I'm glad that you think this is one of our better shows where I'm here floundering. I am not surprised by that. So is copy, and once again I will paste the link in the show for the show. If you would like to come on, would love to talk to you. I'll probably give it another couple minutes, and then after that the floundering will end. So come one, come all. It's your chance. You can talk to me about pretty much whatever. And if I don't know, I'll just make stuff up, which is par for the course. So EL's covers. He is in favor of the anime. I do not like it. Oh, there we go.
Hey, what's up?
Tim, you're a gentleman and a scholar. Thank you for stopping me from floundering.
So what the hell happened? Where's your guest?
Guest never showed. And unfortunately, I only talked to him through email, so I could only email them and say, hey, what's up, guys? And they've not responded, because who responds to emails in a timely manner? Or, within 3 days of getting it.
So we're allowed to just not show up to these things?
No, you're not.
That's pretty awesome.
So do you have an opinion on EL's covers? Which one you like better?
I liked the one on the right side from Twitter. I know it doesn't help you at all, but there was one on the left and one on the right.
Well, here since we got nothing else, we have A, and we have share screen window B.
I like B.
See, I don't like anime. I never like comic books, so I totally do not like this. But that's a Mike thing. EL, thanks for doing that. Everyone read Timothy's novella. Then nice.
I'm actually really hoping that EL defeats me in Sphinx.
So I can tell you, I've read both of them, and they are both excellent.
Yeah.
I really liked yours with the whole unreliable narrator starting out, and there you go, the Whisper replaced God. Yes, big fan. But I also like ELs, and don't ever make me choose a favorite. This is why I will never be a judge, because I'm just like, yeah, I read it, I liked it, 5 stars.
No, what's funny is he said this. He joined. I kind of convinced him to join the competition.
Yeah.
So if he were to join, win, and defeat me, that would be so brilliant. I mean, like, that'd be awesome.
So what are you working on now? Because you must be working on something now.
Yeah, you know what? I've mostly been working on my hair's a mess. The relaunch of Platinum Tinted Darkness.
Yep.
It's going really well. Today has actually been pretty wild. I have 15 sales, which is like amazing for me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of riding the wave.
So, I mean, I have 15 sales for February, and I'm thinking, so far this is pretty good.
Yeah, this one day has beaten my entire 2025 so far. So, I mean, I'll take it.
I don't know what was in the water in January, but I had 50 sales in January.
That's awesome.
And I didn't do a Comic-Con, so I don't know. I don't know. 30 some odd of them were audiobooks, but
Yeah.
So
that's even better, right? The audiobooks?
Oh yeah, audiobooks are somewhere between half to 2/3 of my sales, non-Comic-Con sales at least. 50 is not good. 50 is amazing.
Yeah, 50 is like, I mean, that's good stuff right there.
So I got my first Comic-Con coming up in a week and a half. So hopefully that will sell some books. I posted, I guess, a couple times. We have nothing else to talk about. So this Comic-Con, I'm actually going to have other indie authors' books on my table and try to sell them and see how that works. I told myself I'd start with 10 books to see proof of concept, and I think I'm up to 27 books now that I've got from people. So table's going to be packed. I assume this means I'll take a hit on sales of my books, but that's okay, because if I can sell more books and make the Comic-Cons pay for themselves, then that works too.
Yeah, that's why I didn't accept any money, because I think you're doing a really cool thing. So I mean, it's really nice of you to do that.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of authors here who are, the dream is to be a full-time author, and that's not me. So I want to go ahead, and I figure if I can raise all ships, then let's do that, because I'm going to retire in 2 years. So I don't need the income from authorship. I just needed to not drain all my money. So yeah, I figured if I'm not trying to actively become self-employed as an author, it's just going to be like a hobby, then why not help others? So
well, that's cool.
Yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully this works. Technically it's not allowed at the Comic-Con, because I'm in the Artist Alley place, and that you're supposed to be only things that you've done yourself, but I have not seen anyone police Comic-Cons in the 3 years I've been going, so pretty sure no one's going to say anything. But we'll see.
I mean, that'd be a dick move to call you out on that.
Well, the only thing I can think is if I'm really successful, then other authors in Author Alley might get upset. Yeah. But I'll take my chances. I have to be really successful first. And if they say, no, you can't do this, I mean, this con is a one-day event from 10 to 4. So, okay, kick me out in 4 hours. Why does it matter? So EL is off.
Take care, yo. And good luck in S-Finks.
Yeah, when is the next cut for the finalists? When are they announcing the winner?
Oh, I have no idea. I figure my road is done. I have no expectations of winning this thing.
Well, you are in the top 10%.
Yeah, that's the win for me. I'm happy. I mean, you can't. This is the first time I didn't lose in the first round.
Ooh. So I don't know if you saw, but my book got cut in Spacebo, which I'm kind of relieved.
I saw a lot of things about Spacebo. I didn't see your book.
Well, they said that it was a cozy sci-fi travel log. The Haley Traveler.
That's one way to decipher it.
I'm like, well, you're supposed to read to 20% before you DNF a book, and you would have got to at least one cold-blooded murder if you did. So I'm guessing you didn't get to the 20% mark before you stopped reading.
What's the name of the antagonist? Velcor or something? It's a V.
Vikram.
Yeah, I mean, that's not cozy at all.
So, but hey, now I have a review out there saying my book is cozy, so people's expectations can be dashed. So, Poppy, how's it going?
Hello,
guest
Poppy.
did not show tonight, so if you would like to come on the show, you are more than welcome to. So yeah, come on.
Yeah, but I think you kind of, I think you won by losing in Spacebo.
Yeah, I was at that point. I was like, I'm probably date night. I'm assuming.
Ooh, date night. There you go.
So, let's see.
But
so
what's funny about that, I won't go into that for a million reasons, but I thought at first, my first impression was that it was hilarious. Like, I was messaging you and a few other people, and then it got real rough real fast.
Yeah. It was something. So after you finish with Platinum Tinted Darkness, what is next for you? Are you going to do another series in that world, or are you going somewhere else?
Nah, that series is done.
So what is the next?
So I as you know, I have Whisper 2 coming out.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. I'm writing a full-length novel in the same world, which takes place 20 years after Whisper 1.
Okay.
And I'm about 30,000 words into that.
That's going to be a novel, not a novella?
Yeah, correct. Novel.
And you can always count on my brother to have bad suggestions.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, this is nice about us. It's like, I have no plans, so I could just hop in at any time.
So I am in the midst of Haley 2. I keep telling myself it's going to come out in May. It is not. But yeah, we'll see. I got to a scene that just doesn't make sense with the physics, so now I have to rewrite it. So that is a damper, and I have to figure out what I want to have happen, since what I had planned is just not going to work.
That's rough. I mean, I don't envy that, because in fantasy it doesn't matter. You just make it up.
Yeah.
Ancient elvish magic.
Yeah. So next Friday we're having on 3 people now who are all aeronautical engineers.
Oh, that's cool.
And we're calling it the Science and Science Fiction. And Ryan Patrick, please tell me I got his name right. I always call him his last name first. I believe it's Ryan Patrick, not Patrick Ryan. He has read Haley Traveler. He's like, yeah, there was one thing I was poking about that was just not right, the physics. I'm like, great, well, come on and let's live. Tell me what it is that I got horribly wrong. So
that's pretty cool.
I have that to look forward to. That's exciting.
So have they all read it, or just Ryan?
Just Ryan.
Oh, okay, because that'd be awesome to have just like 3 guys just blast you for an hour.
Well, I'm wanting to make it kind of like a series, because Dave Dotson, he was a geology professor for 25 years. So I'm thinking, let's have another science and science fiction, do like world building, and we can actually get into the rocks and formations and whatnot. And
yeah.
I don't know if anyone else is interested in that. I am, because I'm a nerd, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
So I was planning on advertising all these on the Discord for Spacebo, but I just ended up leaving the Discord, so now I cannot advertise there.
How much of a dumpster fire was the Discord before you left, or was it just unquantifiable levels?
Uh, it it was odd. I mean, they're doing the code of conduct said we don't police what you do on social media, and then they kicked Devin off for the things he put on social media. And everyone was congratulating themselves and saying this was the absolute right choice. And I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, you wrote down rules in the middle of the thing and said everyone has to abide by these, and then you banned a guy who, what did he even do that was wrong? Don't know. So it was just an echo chamber, and they were all just congratulating. I was like, you know what, I'm out. This is not where I need to be. So
You should have taken the chance to be like, I'm withdrawing from the competition. Please buy my book.
I thought about that,
Even
but
though you're already eliminated.
several people who were eliminated did that. I'm like, yeah, that's just performance theater at this point. I'm like, I don't know that I want to do that, but I was not upset when I was like, okay, I did get cut. Okay, good. I listened to Bo's whole thing when he was on for.
Oh, you were on that call too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was just crazy. So yeah. Oh well. So that's over. I will not have any more books available for any competitions anytime soon. So we'll see. I guess my next series, I'm going to do a series of novellas that will be probably I'm thinking 12 novellas long, just because I've heard that novellas don't really sell very well, so I'm going to do 12 of them in a series because yeah.
Well, I will say my novella sells a lot of numbers, but at 99 cents a number and you get 30 cents per book, it's the worst selling book I'll ever have.
Yeah, well, I do. Both Haley Traveler and Become the Druid are 99 cents, just to try to get people into the series, and then I charge them more. And I get a lot of sales of the first book in the series, and then I would come on, guys, it's $3.99. It's not that bad. So,
what's great is when someone buys the full trilogy in one click.
Yeah,
I hit refresh and I have $6. I'm like, yes.
I just the other day I hit refresh on Audible and I had 5 sales. Now I don't know how much I get per book because prices varies and blah and which way, but whatever. I'm like, you know what? That's okay. People are reading my book. That's a win.
I have a master's in economics and I still don't understand the ACX revenue report. It's completely absurd.
So I will be. The big Comic-Con for me coming up is this March, the 6th through the 9th in Lexington, Kentucky. Of all things, Lexington is not that big of a city, but they have a huge Comic-Con.
Yeah.
So I will have 30 different books on my table to sell. So hopefully that goes well. We'll see. But will be pretty much the make or break for is this whole having other people's books on my table. Does this make sense?
I don't want to be negative. I think you're gonna get crushed on this. No, I'm just telling you that because I like it.
I mean, I think I will sell a fair number of books, but I think they will not be mine. I mean, if I have 5 books out of 30, then I can expect 1/6 of the sales to be mine, and you know what? I'm okay with that. So,
well, as long as you go into it knowing that's pretty cool.
So, yeah. Let's see. Other than that, so your new book you're writing, is that a series, did you say, or is that a standalone? I really should pay attention.
It's technically in a series, but as a standalone. But I want people who haven't read the novellas to hop in on it.
Right. Makes sense.
Because like Mute is in it, but he's not the main character. He's just kind of there, and if you know who he is, you'll be like, "Hey, I know who that is." you know.
Well, I am the absolute worst. When I read the book, I'm like, okay, so he's the prince. And then I'm like, this string of letters is the prince's name. And I can't tell you anyone's names, which is why I suck at writing reviews. I'm like, it was good. The main character did fun things with that other guy and that woman and the bad guy. These are my reviews.
That's the way I really like when the protagonist has an easy name. Like I remember Grame forever for whatever reason.
So my brother, he keeps complaining that all of my names are horrible and they're hard to remember. And I'm like, they're all easy. I don't have 6 vowels in a row. They're if it's 3 syllables and there's lots of consonants like Kawena, there's only one way to pronounce that.
Yeah.
There's 3 vowels and they're one in each syllable. So I try to when you get the names where the main character is ZQRXYZ, I'm like,
oh, forget about it.
I'm like, never mind.
We're doing a buddy read of A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Court of Thorns. I know that one.
Sarah J. Maas. I think I'm saying that right.
Okay.
Yeah, and the main character's name is Feyru, and it makes me every time I read it, I get so upset. Because it's not spelt Feyru, it's just pronounced Feyru.
Most of my reading is done by audiobook, so normally I'm like, okay, so I don't have to worry about how their names are spelled. But
I don't have the attention span. Like I'll listen to half a book and be like, I have no idea what just happened. Absolutely no idea.
I've had that happen. It's good, like if I'm cleaning the kitchen, it's good to put it on, and when you got something to keep your hands busy. But I mean, I can't just sit there and listen. I've tried to listen to books just when I go to bed and I just fall asleep and be like, and I have no idea where I stopped listening. So
I've never even listened to my own audiobook.
Your book is on audio?
Only the novella.
Oh, okay. That's right. Yeah, I listened to the novella. I was thinking Platinum Tinted Darkness. I'm like, no, I read that.
I mean, I want to, but the finances aren't there.
Yeah.
Like even with I spent about $7.50 and got $30 back on the novella. But I promised my mom I'd do it for the sequel, so that's actually already done.
Cool. My company actually gives bonuses, and the bonus this year should be enough to probably cover one audiobook.
There you go.
So I'm like, okay, let's not have anything break down so I can spend my bonus on an audiobook. So we shall see. But
I want to just get like famous enough where I could do the split plan where you pay some and they pay the rest.
Yeah.
But that has not happened in any capacity.
No, I was looking at a lot of them. Now they want you to pay them a certain amount and they want the revenue split.
Oh, the hell with that.
And I'm like, no. So, I mean, I always do I want to pay you and then it's mine and I can do whatever I want. Like becoming
That's how I feel, yeah.
Yeah, Becoming Druid I put up on Bald&Balding. You can listen to the whole thing on YouTube for free. Of course, I put it up as all 38 chapters are an individual thing, so you have to go to, so you have to be there and be, okay, chapter 1's done, go to chapter. So I don't know.
I thought you were on ACX.
Yeah.
Isn't that not allowed, or should we just not talk about that?
No, I mean, I'm not selling it. It's free.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, I paid the guy outright for it, so he doesn't get, a revenue split, so he has nothing to complain about. So, yeah. I don't know. I said if that was big, I would put the rest on, and it's weird because I have like 40 people have listened to like the last 3 chapters, and most of the chapters in the middle have like 6 to 10 people have listened to them.
That is kind of weird.
I'm like, okay, well, everyone wants to know how my book ends, but they don't want to go through the whole thing.
I have no theory on that. That's very strange.
So, Yeah, I don't know. I was actually on a show a couple weeks ago, and they said, "What advice do you have for authors?" And I'm like, "Audiobooks." It's like I said, half to two-thirds of my sales are audiobooks, and I actually looked because the math was I had to sell 1,000 audiobooks to break even with the money I spent to have them made, and I'm at like 430 sales.
That's excellent. Good for you.
I mean, it's been 3 years, or
That
almost
doesn't
three
matter.
years.
I mean, it's
But
still really good.
I mean, at this point, that money is long gone. So any sale is just a little bit of money in my bank account.
Yeah, that's why I really don't mind spending the money because I mean, if I spend 2 grand today, in 5 years, what do I care? You know?
Yeah. If you didn't spend it on that, you would have spent it on God knows what, and you'd still be like, "What
Oh
did I
yeah,
get out of that?"
would have bet it all on the Giants.
No, no. The Eagles, maybe that would have been a good guess. But
Oh man,
so, how were you about this? Did you watch the Super Bowl?
I watched the whole thing. I hate myself that much.
So, were you rooting for anyone or
Well, I'm a Giants fan, so I really hate the Eagles, and
fair?
they did one of the most dominant performances I've ever seen.
Yeah, I used to be a Dolphins fan until Ricky Williams got a second lifetime ban.
Oh, that was awesome. He was on my fantasy team when that happened. He got kicked out for smoking weed.
I'm like, okay, that's his second lifetime ban. I mean, how do you even take yourself seriously, people? Ah, the Drama King
Oh, there we go.
has stopped in. Welcome, Nick.
The Fog Man.
Yeah. So he's out of the hospital. So, our medical field people can now rest easy that he's not there to bother them.
Oh, is he out? I didn't notice that.
Yep.
I don't see the chat. I don't have anything in front of me, so I'm just kind of.
So, yeah, Nick, he posted on Twitter, he had emergency surgery of some sort, but as he said, he still pitched his book on the operating room while he's on the gurney, and he says
That's
that
smart.
counts as a car selfie because it did have wheels. So I mean, more power to you, Nick. Yeah.
Is anyone else in the chat, or is it just us?
Nick is here. My brother is here. So yeah. Other than that,
Very
there's
good.
31 people watching, but
That's
not
pretty
very many
sad. 'Cause
people
we have
in the
nothing
chat.
to talk about.
There were 2 promotions while in the hospital. Oh, there you go. Ah, that's right. Two procedures. So twice he got to pitch his book.
That's smart, though. If you're gonna get surgery, you may as well sell a book doing it.
Yeah, I mean, they got the money. So let's see. So apparently there is an echo.
Oh yeah, I hear it too.
I do not. So I don't know what to tell people.
Yeah, I think we just gotta act like it's not there and say it's their problem. Because I have no other solution.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. People kept saying I was echoing, so I took my speaker out that I was using and said maybe this will fix the problem. And now I don't hear an echo, at least, but
It only echoes when I talk, which is probably a bad sign.
only sometimes apparently.
Okay.
So there you go. It's only when you're saying things are really important that it decides to repeat it.
Oh, but I don't know why I thought of this, but are you doing BBNY 2025?
I have nothing really to put in, so.
Can't you do Haley's?
I guess it's not just fantasy, is it? I guess I could.
I don't think so. I actually have no idea. Basically last year I gave them 20 euros and was promptly eliminated.
There you go. You just have a mystical voice.
That's right.
Yep. So, did you do? You did Platinum Tinted Darkness then, I guess, last year for BBNYA.
Yeah, it was awesome. I gave them 20 euros and they were like, "Thanks, you are limited."
Yeah, I did it for becoming a druid, and I was like, so it's radio silence, and then I got an email saying, by the way, your book has been cut. We're going to put a post out tomorrow, and I'm like, well, thanks. There's $20 I didn't need to spend.
But at least I actually I thought it was hilarious because like I totally forgot I was in it, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm in that. I did not win.
So
But I think I might put Whisper in there. Oh, I don't have. Oh, maybe that's what it is. Give me 1 second.
okay, well the echo's gone away because Tim has gone away. Um,
Testing, testing.
I
Oh,
still just hear you. So I don't know.
yeah,
People,
whatever. Listen, it's we got to do it live. There's nothing we can do.
there you go. Let's see. So what are you currently reading, Tim?
I'm in that buddy read with a Court of Thorn and Roses
Who's doing the buddy
and
read?
a bearded book beast.
Oh, okay.
And Molly's in that too. I don't know if Molly's here, but she's in that.
I when I saw Sarah J. Moss, when she publishes a book, she publishes like 5 different versions, and they each have one additional chapter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that if you're really a fan, you have to buy it 5 times. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just not buying anything by you ever. I don't
I think
need
that's genius. I mean, that's awesome.
I mean, I think it's abusing your fans.
I mean,
But I would have to write something that people were screaming that much for. That yes,
yeah.
I will buy it again with one extra chapter that doesn't really matter or would have been in the main book anyway.
Well, I was thinking about this today because today was my best day in like 6 months. I made about $50 today, and that would never survive. I could never live off that, even if I could do this every single day. You need to
Right.
sell so many books to make this.
Yeah.
So I really don't blame people who just release the same damn book over and over and try to get sales.
So James Maxey, I'm going with him to Steel City Con. He gets a table, 2 tables there. He does this full time, goes to Comic Cons, and as he told me, he goes, you can make 40 to 70,000 if you do. I think he does 30 Comic Cons a year, but he doesn't have a day job, so
Yeah.
He's
That's
like-
stressful though. I mean,
he's
like,
like,
I mean, we all have days where you have a flat zero. I would never want my mortgage to depend on selling lizard people books. Like, that's so scary.
yeah, like I said, that's why I'm like I'm not banking on. I have my 401k, assuming that the economy doesn't crater.
I got news for you.
2.5 years. So, but yeah, that I mean, I will do more Comic Cons when I retire, but I don't want another job. I'm not retiring from my job to start another job. That does not.
That makes sense.
So, and how far away are you from New York City?
About an hour.
No.
I was thinking of going into my local Barnes and Nobles.
Yeah.
But I don't like crowds. I get freaked out. So, I actually went there a few times, and I ended up just walking around the store with a coffee in my hand. And they definitely thought I was like casing the place.
So there is a bookstore local that will do author sales. They'll have special events and whatnot, and local authors have done it and said they sold like 30 books, 40 books, which is a really good Comic-Con for me.
That's excellent.
And I put it on my calendar last year. Okay, I'm going to contact these people. I'm definitely going to do this, and I didn't do it at all last year. So now it's on my calendar for this year. So maybe I will. I'm like, well, when I release the Haley 2, Stranded and Alone, maybe then I'll do it. I'll have 6 books to bring with me to sell to people. And, it's always like when I get one more book, then and it's always, one more book, and then I'll do this.
That's kind of what happened to me. It's scary how the books do keep coming, though.
Yeah.
I can't believe I have 5 books. It really is ridiculous.
So let's play this game because I'm going to finish my Druid series, which is 7 books.
Yeah.
I've written 4, so there's 3 left to go. And then I kind of want to do a book like 30 years after that. So there's 4 books I want to write. There's going to be 3 more books in the Haley series. So that's 7 books. I got this 12 novella book series that I want to do. So there's 19, and then I'm up over 20 books that I want to write. How many books do you have in your head that you want to?
I have the one I'm working on, and that's honestly the only one I have in my head right now. I know if I really, really needed the money, I could write Platinum Tinted Darkness 4, but it would make no sense.
Yeah, I have to get to the other books in that series. I do have I have the collector version here that
Yes, you need
that
these
only
two.
a select few will have. So when you hit it big, I have my copy.
Yeah.
So
No, it's been cool though. The people so far has been very positive on the relaunch, so I'm hoping it just keeps going.
so
Have you ever thought of doing any of your books over, or you just say the hell with it?
I mean, I've gone through and I've fixed typos when people told me, because my first book especially, I was like, oh my god, there's a typo. I'll pay $25 to fix this one typo, and then oh look, there's another typo. Let me pay $25 more
Yeah.
and and now I'm like, okay, let's get 4 or 5 typos and then I'll fix them.
Yeah, I was in the same boat. And the people were like messaging me typos on Twitter, and I was like, "Oh, thank you for letting me know." And in the back of my head, I'm like, "I'm never gonna fix that." And then I
One
ended up fixing all of them, so it was a good move.
Yeah. One person, I think it was John, the guy from SFF Insiders, the one who, reads a book in his sleep and 4 more during the day.
Yeah, I'm so impressed at his workload.
But he took a picture. He's like, this typo made me laugh. And it's supposed to be where he says, one simple mistake can kill you in space. And it says, on simple mistake can kill you. And so I forgot the E in one. He's like, this was a great sentence to have a typo. On simple mistake will kill you. I'm like, thanks. Thanks for that. I'm glad it amused you.
It is amazing that books don't have more typos, more like just so many things you can do wrong.
So I think I have cured myself now that once the proofreader goes through it, I don't change anything after that other than, fix the typos. Because I did that for Haley, and that's how I ended up duplicating the cringy chapter that I didn't want to write.
Yeah.
So I'm like, nope, that's it. I'm not going to, after the proofreader, I'm done, hands off. If I got feedback saying, this needs a good edit, or, a lot of typos, I think I'd probably fix it. But short of, getting feedback from, probably multiple people saying that, hey, this is a problem,
Yeah. For me, it was just kind of like, I was like, I could definitely do better than this. Because it was like, and when you look at the first book and then the fifth book, it's just a total world of difference in quality.
Oh, yeah. I was telling people a week or so ago, I was like, Sins and Sorrows, which is actually the 3rd book that I wrote, but it's the 2nd book in the series because, of course it is. It is the best thing that I've written. I swear it is, and it is my lowest rated book. It's the only one that's not above a 4. And I mean, it's 2 novellas and 3 short stories. And the one short story, I was like, you know what? I'm really proud of this. I think this is the best. I read, I'm like, yes, this is exactly the feel I was going for, and I managed to hit it. So I'm like, that is my absolute, favorite. And like I said, it's the lowest rated. So whatever.
See, what's funny for me is it's the opposite. I think my worst book is my lowest rated, and my best book is my highest rated. So nature heals for me. I just want to get platinum over a 4. That's all I want in my life. Once I get over a 4, I can just do something else in my life.
Well,
I'm in like that 3.9 hell. I can just never get out of.
I for Haley on Amazon, it's like a 4.7.
Yeah.
And I'm like, guys, it's not that good. I mean, I wouldn't give it that score. Why are you doing this? But
Amazon readers are really nice.
Yeah,
for some
they are.
reason.
Goodreads, not so much.
No, Goodreads, and they let you have it. Like they really want you to know that you suck. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. Did I tell you about my 2-star review I got on Goodreads?
Tell me again. I don't recall.
So the woman, she wrote 6 paragraphs to, just to let me know that it was 2 stars. But in the 4th paragraph, she put that she is bilingual. So she can understand what people are saying, even if she doesn't understand every single word. But people who are only native English speakers would struggle to understand my book written in English.
Oh, you did. I remember you mentioning that, and that is
And,
very, very odd.
and I'm like, okay. And then she said, the chapter titles gave away the entire story, and she didn't have to read the chapter because she could just read the chapter titles, and she knew everything that happened. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's not true. And then at the end, she's like, I'm on the fence whether I'll read the second book or not. I'm like, no, do not.
Yeah, the scariest thing to me is if someone doesn't like the first book, then please give up. Please don't keep going.
I'm like, you know
It's
what?
okay. It's not for everybody.
Right, exactly. I'm like, it's not for you. That's fine. Go read Sarah J. Maas.
Yeah, I'll read it with you. We'll have a great time.
Are you liking it? What you're reading?
I have very mixed feelings. I could definitely see why it's popular. There's a lot of good. It definitely holds my attention.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I'm really struggling with the romance part of it.
See, I talked to Laura Huey, and she had told me that after her first book, she said, "You know what? I want to write characters better." And she said, if there's one genre that really gets the characters, you will know them well, it's romance. So she spent, she said, 6 months or a year just reading romance.
I remember that interview.
Solely to get better at doing characters. And I keep going, I should probably do that. But then I'd have to read romance. And so I don't.
I mean, the characters are kind of flat, and that's not an insult. They don't need to be anything more than they are. Like I don't know.
I don't know. I got Fourth Wing, the first book, and I was like, well, it's at least fantasy or romantasy, but I haven't started it yet. I don't know.
What's funny about this book is that the world building is actually excellent, and that's what I would have thought would have been the weakest aspect. But it's really fascinating. There's a whole bunch of cultures. There's interesting monsters. There's a lot of pretty cool stuff.
Cool. I will probably never read it, but okay. I checked. I have over 1,100 audiobooks that I'm like, how many of these have I read? And I started going through. I was like, okay, yeah, I don't want to know this answer, so I stopped. But yeah, I'm very good at buying books.
Oh, me too.
Very good.
It's hard. I don't tell people I'm going to read their book anymore because I'm tired of lying to people, not on purpose, but just in general.
Because of the channel, I get usually on Twitter about every other week, somebody going, "Hey, would you like to review my book? I'll send you a copy." And I'm like, that's not what we do. But if you'd like to be interviewed, and then people still were like, "Well, I'm going to send you my book so that you can hold it up when you interview me." I'm like, "Oh, okay. I'm never going to read more than the title, but."
I get it though. I appreciate the optimism.
So
something I did that was really stupid when I was new was when I sent people books, I would send them 2 books. I have no idea why. It just felt like maybe they'd like it so much they'd give it to someone else, and it was so stupid. It was such a waste of money.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a waste of money. But then, like you said, they have 2 books. They have to find a home for the second one. So, somebody's going to get it that again you would probably never meet in your normal life. So, I'm assuming they're not throwing it away, even if
it's possible. I think of how funny it is that some people don't like it, so they have 2 books that they don't like. It's like, what do I do
if
with
they
this?
take it to the used bookstore, that's fine because if the book reviewer is in Tulsa, how many people are you ever going to meet from Tulsa? I mean, if your book goes to the used bookstore, there's somebody else who can read your book and fall in love with it potentially. So that's why I don't mind giving books away. And normally unless they tell me otherwise, it's like, yeah, I'll take a look at your book. I send them all of my books.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you're getting 5 books. You didn't specify just one, so you're getting 5. Um,
I respect. I'm kind of nervous to do that because that's a lot of money.
eh, yeah. I mean, last year I bought a lot of books because I was going to sell so many. I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I bought 200 books, Haley Traveler books between hardback and paperback.
200.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So and so I've been very much I'm giving away the hardbacks because again they have that extra chapter that shouldn't be there, and it's too many to throw away. So I'm like, so I'm almost out of hardbacks. So when I buy new hardbacks, they will be the ones without the extra terrible chapter. But I have so many paperbacks left that I'm like, this was over exuberance here. So, but with selling other people's books, I probably don't have to buy any more of my own books this year. So,
Do you do Ingram or Amazon or
I
both?
do Ingram. Yeah.
Okay. What's funny is I give you that warning when you buy your own book that says make sure it's correct before you buy like 10 of them. I never listen to that. I always
No, never. I mean, when becoming a druid, when I was working on it, and I was like, okay, I think it's done. And I uploaded it on July 4th. And I always tell people, then I called my brother and told him so that 2 people in the world knew that I had published a book.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's done now. Upload. I'm a published author. Yay.
It's such a crazy world we live in that you can do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually, a woman who I used to work with till she retired, and now I'm jealous of her. But she's like, Mike, I have all the family recipes, and everybody wants a copy of this. And I just thinking, I want to do a cookbook, but how much will I have to spend? I'm like, none. Just format it in Word, upload it to Amazon, and then tell them it's on Amazon. Buy your own copy. I'm like, you don't have to you don't have to pay for anything, and that way if they want I want 3 to give to, like, great, go buy them off Amazon. I'm like, you can do it all for free.
I mean, that's true. And it's such a strange feeling that you could literally just release a book at 0 cost. Nothing. It's going to suck, but I mean, you could do it at 0 cost.
So where I volunteer at the USO, and the one guy there who I worked one shift with, he's an quote unquote author. He uses AI to write his erotic books.
Oh.
And then he uses AI to make his covers. And he told me, he goes, I have a pen name, and even my wife does not know what my pen name is. But he's like, yeah, I publish a book. I mean, he goes, I could do a book a week, but I want to do other things. But so usually it's 1 or 2 a month I publish. He's like, erotica, you're like 20,000 words is long for that. So, and
do they sell anything, or is
he said he made a couple $100 a month.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, I don't make a couple $100 a month. I mean, on a good month, sure, if I have a good Comic-Con, but and I'm just like, okay, yeah, but at the end of the day, am I going to be happy that I published a bunch of AI trash?
I think the moral of the story is we have to write erotica.
No. I wrote the closest I'm ever going to get is that one chapter that got duplicated in my book. And I will never write anything close to that again because, I told Ro I was going to cut it. I'm like, I don't want to edit it. I don't want to read it again. It makes me cringe. And I'm the one who wrote it. And he's like, you have to keep it, Mike. You have to. So
I want you to listen to me. It's an excellent chapter. It's so well written. It tells you so many things about the character in the world without like making it's kind of a beautiful chapter.
So I do have to give credit where credit is due because my brother, who I'm surprised has not chimed in, I'm guessing that means he's not listening anymore. Oh wait, no, there he is. The name of the strip club is, do you remember?
I have no idea.
The Zero G Spot. And that is my brother's. He says that is his contribution to great literature because I was like, I need a name for a strip club on Mars. Can't come up. And he goes, the Zero G Spot. And I'm like, the fact that you just came up with that just rolling off your tongue kind of scares me. But
that's beautiful. I mean, it really is.
I'm like, yeah, there will be no one who will ever top that. So great. Yeah. So, oh, oh well.
Yeah, like we when I was in my 20s, we went to a strip club for my friend's bachelor party, and they're probably the saddest places on earth.
Yeah, they really are. I hate them. I think I was like, I've not been to one in 25 years or more,
Yeah.
and I'm like, ugh, it just no. I don't know. I don't understand why people go there. I'm like, do you fool yourself into thinking there's any sort of attachment, or are you just so that you don't care? I don't know. I don't understand.
Like we went to one in Atlantic City, and it was just the saddest place on earth. Like there was a guy in like a wheelchair just surrounded by strippers, and it was just like, I don't know. It was something else. I guess some people just like the dream of it, For like 2 hours, you get to be the man, even though it's not real.
I don't know. I have better things to do with my money. Well, I have dumber things to do with my money too. But
Yeah.
sometimes I have better things to do with it. Like paying for audiobooks that may someday pay me back.
Yeah, you can't have strippers and audiobooks. You have to pick one or the other.
Oh, and Dan, I am never ever going to ask.
No.
Just no, never ever. He was
Just
in the
thinking
Navy,
about
so. Yeah. Well, Tim, thank you for hanging out with me tonight.
Oh, this was fun. I saw your message and I was like, let's do this. So yeah.
I mean, we have 33 viewers, so live and in person. So hey, who knew?
Yeah, we should do this. Maybe the key to 500 subscribers is to have people just not show up.
Ooh, so yeah, Ro and I are talking about for when we get to our 200th show live interview. He
Did
wants
you ex Chase?
we just agreed on Philip Chase.
Yeah.
But then I contacted Philip and I saw that he's on like 4 shows last week because I watched his like week recap or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I don't know when it's going to be because I'm always adding people in late. So the idea that I'm going to get it exactly at 200. So he is actually next week. He's on the 20th.
Cool.
So yeah, he is next Thursday, and he's nowhere near 200. He's 180 something. But yeah, I'm going to put him in the Bald Dome because that'll make me smile.
You get Day Raven in there.
Yeah.
Have you read his books?
I listened to the first one.
Yeah.
And then I told him, I was like, I really, really need that second one. When is the second audiobook coming out? And he said that Alan is actually working on it, but he had a cold, so he couldn't very well read. Yeah. So, but I'm like, okay, but it is coming. Because like I read or listened to P.L. Stewart's the first book, The Drowned Kingdom.
Yes, I was actually going to talk about him because for maybe a 200th person.
We interviewed him once. He's such a nice guy. I mean. Yeah. He makes regular Canadian sea brewed. But loved his book. And I was like, okay, so when is book 2 coming out audio? He's like, when I finish the series, he goes, I just want audiobook for 1 because it's an entry point. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't physically read, or not very often. So I don't know. I need the other books of his to come out on audio, but they're not anytime soon. So.
I'm going on his show next month, and I'm like kind of nervous because he's just like such a good guy.
Oh, you'll be fine.
No, because I've read every book in his series so far, and he's just like the world building king.
Yeah, I read like.
He started to read my book, and I was like, "Oh, please don't blow me up." If an author I like blows me up, that sucks. I mean, it's like.
Tim McKay read my book. Which actually, and then he said that, I never liked first person present tense, but you made me like this, Mike. And I got 8 sales that day when he put that out on Twitter.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I was like, so Twitter's not completely useless for advertising books. You just, don't advertise your own because that never works.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tim, like I said, 8 of those came the day that he said, "This is great. You should try it." So, I'm trying to actually build my Twitter followers up again. I had told myself I had to get to 2,000 and then I could rest and be happy. And I've been at 2,000 now for 6 months, and I was like, okay, perhaps I should, stretch and.
Yeah, I was right under 3,000, and then after the election, I lost like 600 followers. So like,
Oh,
God
wow.
damn it! But they're slowly coming back. You just got.
Yeah, I lost like, I don't know, 50, 75 maybe, but not a ton.
I think I had so many sex bots and
Mm.
fake marketing people that they just all got purged.
Yeah. But yeah, I wish I knew a social media that was worth my time, at least as far as sales go, but I don't think any of them really are great for sales.
I have no idea. I mean, it's really hard to say.
So
I'm trying to do Twitter and Blue Sky because it's two different audiences and I'm trying to get them both.
yeah.
But at the end of the day, I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm just trying to sell books.
Yeah, I'm trying to do Instagram and Twitter, and I keep telling myself I should probably do Blue Sky as well.
I followed you on Blue Sky. You did not follow me back. So
well, the next time I'm on Blue Sky, I will totally do that. It's about once every 3 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to convince myself when I put on Twitter every time for the show. I'm like, I should probably put this on Instagram, but then I have to make it a square graphic instead of oblong, and like, do I really want to do this for every show? We do 10 shows a month, so
I don't really know how to do Instagram.
You need a picture.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm on there to say, hey, our next guest is, and then I have the whole graphic. I have to move everything over to one side so I can crop it and make it square, and I don't know.
It's tough. Like, I posted a picture of me wearing a scarf, and it did not sell any books.
I will tell you though, I switched to Substack for my newsletter.
Yeah.
Because it's free. And the nice thing is when I do the newsletter, it'll send me an email and say, hey, here are templates you can use already made for Instagram and for Twitter and anywhere else you want to share. So yeah, because I was doing MailerLite and then I was doing MailChimp, and I was tired of paying $30 a month.
Is it that much?
Well, I had over 1,000. I have just over 1,000 followers, so yes, they were charging me.
Okay.
I was not free anymore. So I was like, you know what? Substack is free. And actually, I'm going to get rid of my website because I never go on it to update anything. And two, I can put links to my books, for sale on Substack. So I'm going to do total Substack, get rid of the website. I got rid of my newsletter program, so at least I'm not losing money at either of those anymore.
Yeah. I think I have Linktree, and that's it.
Yeah, I got Linktree, and yeah.
Linktree's pretty damn good, I gotta say.
I will say the best thing for me that I've seen, and maybe that's what I've done, is talking to booktubers and getting them to read your book and review them. I think that has done more for me than anything else I've tried to do marketing-wise.
That's true. It's like Bearded Book Beast has been good to me, so I'm grateful for him.
So he started reading Haley Traveler like 5 months ago.
Well, I don't know if you watch his videos. He gets like 30 books every 2 weeks. It's like really hard.
So he's like, yeah, Mike, I started your book. And he showed me. I was like, great. And I'm like, be a review anytime now. And I look. So now when I look at it, I'm like, yep, there's Haley Traveler. It's on the shelf behind him. Apparently he's not reading it anymore. So.
Yes.
But, oh well. I mean, there is a whole kerfluffle about that with booktubers that get books, and if they're like authors saying, well, I sent my book and then he just sold it, and I'm like, if he tried to read your book and didn't like it, what do you want him to do? I mean,
I don't know. I think that's a pretty gray area.
I mean, I'm of the opinion of once I send it out, I don't care. I don't ask. I don't bother them. I'll get a review or I won't, but I'm not going to get my money back because it's a book. They're not going to mail it back to me. So why am I going to worry about this? I just move on.
I think the ones that bother me is when it's like a personal signed copy, where it's like, hey, Mike, uh, you're my best friend. Here you go. And then on eBay, it's like a week later.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, it's hit or miss. I mean, if I send you my book, you may like it, you may not. What are you supposed to do if you don't like it? Are you supposed to keep it forever and treasure it? This book you don't like? I
I
mean,
think
and
it's the idea of profiting off something someone else. I don't know. I don't want to go there. I'm not.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I understand that. Now, I'm not. I mean, and if you're doing it to just yes, send me your book so that I can sell this, then yeah,
Yeah.
that's. But if you do an honest effort and you're like, it's not for me, and like I said, I don't have the time to worry about it, so I just send it and forget it.
Like I personally, I'm in the same boat as you because I mean you can't control what people are going to do. So if I send you a book, I consider $25 gone,
Yeah,
and I move on. I don't care. I don't follow it. I don't care.
yeah. I mean, I will. I appreciate if they tell me like, hey, I'm going to be reviewing your book, and I'm like, okay, I will make sure I see it because there's so many booktubers,
Oh yeah.
and I feel bad. I'm like, I haven't seen this person's in forever. Um, Well, seeing if you want to do a book burning, I will sell you a bunch of my books at a discount. I mean, I'll sell you hundreds. You can have a real big flame. That's Rose always like, yeah, if you want to burn my book, that's great. I'll sell it to you at bulk discount.
Yeah. I mean,
If you're going to buy it, I don't care what you do afterwards.
as long as the check clears my account, then you just have fun.
So, oh well. There you go. And waiting on Cena's book, which that comes out. I'm going to have to read that.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm going to have to buy it, whether I read it or not. I don't want to say I'll read it because, that's few and far between. But how many books do you read a year, Tim?
Probably 40, maybe 40-ish. It
Wow.
varies. Depends what I'm reading.
I'm about half that. So
I've kind of hit a novella phase, so that number is inflated. I mean, because this is one of the problems with Goodreads is that this is one book
yeah.
and this is one book, and that's stupid. I mean, like it really is.
So yeah, it. I mean, well, my rule: 500 pages max.
That's
so,
right.
Yeah, but we'll see. I do have a couple chunkers that I'm going to be selling. I have a heliotrope from Palmer Pickering, which is like 800 and some odd pages.
I heard it's excellent though.
Oh, I mean, it was a semifinalist our year in Spiffbo. Yeah. So, but I'm like, that's great. Other than keeping my door open, that's the only use I have for it. So,
it's just a rough. I read everything on Kindle, and when you read for like 2 hours and it only goes up by 10%, it's a rough feeling.
Yeah. So if I'm reading on Kindle, I have to do where that like reads along for me to try to keep it, because otherwise my attention will wander. But if it's actually reading it, I have to I have to follow and pay attention. Otherwise, it's like, audiobook. I can't just sit there and listen to an audio. I have to be doing something with my hands to keep me.
And you can retain knowledge when you do that?
Yeah.
I can't. I lack something. Something is broken in me.
I mean, if I'm loading the dishwasher, this does not take brain power.
That's fair.
So I can, listen to it and, other than that, picking up after my dog, again, does not require brain power. And in the car when I'm driving, I listen to them.
I tried that. I actually listened to all of Game of Thrones on audiobook driving to work, and I retained none of it. Because like driving in New York is basically every time you get in the car, you might die.
Yeah, you have to pay attention to what you're doing on the road.
Yeah.
I mean, here in the Richmond, Virginia area, I tell people we have a rush 15 minutes, and then the traffic is finished. So, we don't have a rush hour. We have a rush quarter hour. So
people will do things where if you don't yield to them, both drivers will die. And that happens on every 15-minute interval.
So I'm actually going up to New York.
Oh, really?
June, yes.
Okay.
going to the cosmetic chemistry. The big event is always in New York City at the Javits Center. So
Cool.
and I used to go every year, and then I didn't go for like 7 years, and now they're like, nope, you're going. And I'm like, it'd be great if everyone in the group went except for me.
Yeah.
I'd much rather just stay back at the office by myself and get my work done and not be bothered by people.
That's the dream. That really is.
But so I'm going. Yay. But I mean, it's nice because they'll take customers out, so I'll go to really nice restaurants and not have to pay for anything. And I do like when the company pays for everything when I go to New York City.
That is a great feeling.
Yeah. I've gone to several Broadway plays, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to pay money for this, but if the company wants to.
Yeah, it's like my company. I got to go to Atlantic City every April.
I have never been. I'm not a big gambler though, so
It's awesome when you're like 23, but I'm 37. I got it. Just does nothing for me now.
yeah.
I want to go to bed. I don't want to gamble.
The last time I went out to eat at Bernadine's, which is the #1 seafood place in Manhattan. And, we had like 8 bottles of wine, and they didn't have any wine for under $100. There were 8 of us at a table, and we had 8 bottles of wine. And then we went to see Spider-Man, the musical.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. That must have been fun.
Well, that was the first musical I'd ever seen, and people were like, you really haven't seen a musical then. And then the company, they bought out the 3rd floor of Hard Rock Cafe there at Times Square. And so they had an after party that went to like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I would never spend this amount of money on myself in one night, ever. And I was like, yeah, like $500-$600 they spent on this for me. This was 10 years ago. And I'm like, yeah, I would never spend that money on myself. Never, ever.
Think of how many audiobooks that comes out to.
Yeah.
Taking everyone out.
And then, of course, everyone had to get up, and we had to meet at 6 a.m. to have our meeting at the diner and then go to the trade show for the second day. So everybody's just, a zombie at that point. So, Cena, it's something I'm glad I did. I don't know that I want to do it again. Of course, I'm 54 now, so I'm even more of a. It's 10. Let's just go to bed. So. Oh well. Let's see. I am reading actually. Adam. Oh shoot, what's his last name? I got his name right. Adam, not Alex. We just interviewed him last week. Fernandez. I'm actually listening to his book now.
Nice.
It's actually pretty good. But yeah, like I said, I looked. I have over 1,100 audiobooks, and I'm like, I've listened to 150, 200 of these, maybe.
What you should do one day is queue all of them and put it like ×5 speed and just see what happens.
Well, I mean, a lot of those I've tried. I mean, I DNF a lot. So a lot of them I've read, like 3-4 chapters. Like, okay, I don't know why I thought I wanted to know about the Silk Road and why I felt the need to buy 3 books that cover it, but they are dry as a bone, and no. So I mean, I have 3 books on the Silk Road that I don't know.
Is that the drug exchange?
Do what?
The drug exchange?
No, the Silk Road, like from the goods from China made it to medieval Europe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Marco Polo, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I keep saying this would be really interesting, and I get a book and I'm like, it's dry as can be, and I just get bored. And I actually use it at night. I'm like, I'll listen to this chapter, and if I fall asleep midway through, that's fine because I probably don't care. And seeing it, wow, that is something.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. You've read 60% of your audiobooks? Oof. I'm probably
That's really amazing.
20-25%. But well, Tim, I'm gonna let you go.
Sounds good.
Thank you for popping on. And,
that was a great time. We'll have to do this. We need Ro. I don't know what Ro's doing, but
his wife is sick, so he had to drive through the snow, and it's Virginia, so driving through snow is perilous because people are idiots.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole drive slower, don't get on everyone's bumper is just alien to Virginians. You either get the people going 20 on the interstate, or else you got the people who are going 70 and honking the horn at you to go faster.
That is so scary.
Yeah. So I don't. I mean, I can drive in snow, because again, we will not forget the awkward wave goodbye, Dan. Oh, there you go.
Thank you.
Cena, nice. I'm afraid now for Cena to read my books because I know she does horses all the time, and I don't know anything about horses, so I'm just waiting for the time with here's the list of things you got wrong in your book about horses. Which makes me not want to write fantasy, but then I try to write sci-fi and I get the science wrong, and I have the Ryan Patricks of the world saying, and here's what you got wrong about the physics.
So, I have no horses in any of my books, and I just find it so weird because horses are everywhere in fantasy.
That is smart. The smart man.
Because I didn't want the horses to get hurt, so I just didn't put them in the story.
Yeah. So Cena, I appreciate that. Yeah, this new series I'm writing with aliens, and they're all based on my dogs that I had. I'm like, it has to be cozy because I can't kill any of them if they're based on my dogs. That's like killing my own dog.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's going to be cozy. They haven't written a cozy one other than what Spacebo says. But yeah, that's coming. So, oh well. And there you go. Cena is our reference for horses. So, well, Tim, it's time to wave awkwardly.
Yes, it is. Good night, Mike.
Thanks. And end stream.